Hey, board gamers, before the show starts, this is for me, not Punchboard Media, not Board Game Media, not anybody else. This is just me. Like a lot of you, I was disgusted and horrified by the killing of George Floyd. And I'd like to tell my friends out there, I know a lot of you are hurting. I stand with you against hatred and racism. I stand with all of the peaceful protesters around the country. I hear you and I support you. Because all lives can't matter unless Black lives matter. I don't know the answers. I've been thinking about it all weekend, but I do know there's some things we can do. Most of you know that I'm a lawyer and I started doing the research. We can, as board gamers, we can shine the light and support Black designers, Black publishers, and Black content creators. They tell me they want the light out there. We can force police departments around the country to hire better, to train better, and to report better. You know, Senator Tim Scott has been fighting for 5 years for the Walter Scott Notification Act. It demands that police departments report the details anytime someone is killed in an interaction with police. How is it that I know everything that's going on with coronavirus here in my town, yet we don't know all the details when someone's life is taken? That should be mandatory, and we should support him. We can revisit, and I know this is legal mumbo jumbo, but we can revisit the qualified immunity law that shields bad actors from lawsuits. Senator Cory Booker is working on legislation to reform that area. Police unions have prevented action against police officers that violate public policy. Everything from discipline to outright firing. We can do something about that. Don't think like me this weekend that there's nothing we can do. We're in this together. And if you agree that it's important for police departments to be reviewed and to be accountable for the deaths on their watch, write to your senators and let's see what we can do together. All right, let's start the show, man. Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Gumbo Live. It's episode number 106, Gumbo Live, the number one-ish Facebook Live talk show. Well, number one on Tuesdays at 8:30, dedicated to board gaming. Our special guest tonight, it's Tantrum House, and they're in the house, Kevin and Melissa Delp. They're going to be talking about their big Kickstarter, but also some of the spicy hot games that they've played recently, and we're going to play a game with them together. Board Game Gumbo, a proud member of Punchboard Media. Check out some of our other fine members, like State of the Games podcast. That's Chris, Daryl, and TC, our buddies. They've got a great podcast focusing on con travel, games play, design tips, and my favorite part, what really grinds their gears. Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table. Hit us up on social media tonight, on Twitter or on Facebook, and we'll be looking for your questions on the chat group. But enough blather. Let's get right to our special guests, Kevin and Melissa from Tantrum House. Welcome to the house.
Hello. Thanks for having us. We love being here with you tonight.
I have been big fans of you guys' content for many, many years. I think all the way back to 2015, you guys have been doing it?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it actually started like the end of 2014. I actually didn't personally join the team until 2015. So it's a good time to start.
Good time to start. So for those one or two people living, maybe in Antarctica who haven't heard of Tantrum House, give us the elevator pitch.
Sure.
What is Tantrum House and who are Kevin and Melissa?
Sure. So Tantrum House is a board game media company, and we are a bunch of different families that have come together, and we all live in the upstate of South Carolina. And Melissa and I, Will and Sarah Meadows, Ryan and Katie Pills, and some of our newest members, Jonah and Chantel Dew. And we have some interns too, Andrew, Dan, and Tina. And we love those too. So, yeah.
I've got a picture. You guys have a new person in the house.
That's right. Jonah and Chantel. They just joined us recently. Actually, cool thing is Chantel, she is about due with her second baby. Lord willing, she'll be having that baby in about a week or two. We're not exactly sure. Yeah, just a few weeks. So she's ready. She's ready.
During the Kickstarter. Wow, that is fantastic. Crazy. So tell me, how did you guys meet Chantel and them?
Yeah, so we actually through Will. Will was working full time and then decided to go full time contract work. And Jonah's brother Jeremiah and Will were working together doing some contract work. Will is a full time graphic designer, sure. And Jonah and Jeremiah and Will all getting together. And Will's like, my Tantrum House is what we do with board games. And Jonah's like, I like board games, and found out that Jonah is a very heavy board gamer. He likes Scythe and Terraforming Mars and games that we all love and enjoy playing. So we brought him in, and Chantel's with them too. So and they have a little boy Jalen right now, and another little one on the way.
That is fantastic. So Melissa, you guys have been doing this in Tantrum House, and one of the things, what do you think that I will say that you guys are most known for?
Probably.
When I told people that y'all were coming on the show, what do you think they asked me about?
Probably Kickstarters, I guess. I know Kevin does his Kickstarter video.
That's probably the most famous.
Kickstarter Connection is famous, but that opening montage that y'all have, where the camera tracks all the way through, and people are throwing cards and flipping tables and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Who came up with that idea? And so how do you guys top it each year?
I know, crazy. Yeah, every year is like a new thing. Next year we're talking about doing stuff with drones. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Will is definitely the more creative of the bunch. Comes up with a lot of it, and we all work together to make it happen. Every year we want to create a new opener video. So now that season 7 is sort of a thing, or just a couple of weeks away from finishing that, we definitely are thinking about what the next opener will be. So
yep, and we have new people to show in the opener too.
We've got a couple of people checking in. There's Patrick Newman, our buddies from down on the Gulf Coast, saying hi. Thomas checking it out. Our friend Jay Bell, improv extraordinaire, who might be doing some improv with me in a couple of weeks. That'll be kind of fun to see that. So what you got to show us there? Show it to us.
Oh, what do you
I have a plug problem. I don't want my computer to die.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
Technical issues that he's working on.
It's a live show. Melissa, we're going to fix this in post. Don't worry. Speaking of creative,
keep talking. Yeah.
Speaking of creative, though, you guys are selling yourself short. I happen to see some photos in doing a little research of some talents that both of you have and that you share with the public outside of board gaming.
Yeah, outside of board gaming, Melissa and I do enjoy
Kevin is a magician.
Yeah.
And both of us, we do balloon animals.
Melissa was the first one. She started doing balloon art, and she roped me in.
Yep.
I actually saw pictures of Melissa's balloon art, and if I can pull them up, I actually have them on my phone. I forgot to upload them here. But I didn't see any from you, Kevin. You're also a balloon guy?
I do it not as well as Melissa. She's definitely much better than I am.
I would say Kevin is faster, but I'm a little bit more have a little better technique.
Yeah, she's done a lot more. She's done a lot more study on them, so she learns a lot of the different techniques and teaches me some of those. I would say, there's different kinds of balloon artists out there. And we've grown over the years. A lot of our stuff we do is like at schools and churches and events and restaurants and things like that. So we do what we call like line work, where kids will just line up and we just do what they want us to make. And birthday parties, of course, and we try and make some special balloons for the birthday kids. So
yeah, our first couple of videos that we did with Kickstarter Connection, I think I made a balloon for some of them. I made a little Cthulhu once years ago. We stopped that pretty early.
I saw one that looked really cool. It looked like Blue from Blue's Clues. Can you do Blue?
She can. Yeah. She can do Blue.
I can do Olaf. I can do Blue. Yeah.
So if you're in the Carolina area and you want balloon animals, you guys are the people to talk to, right?
Yeah. Melissa did a life-size balloon motorcycle that it was actually, she built it around a stool so that you can actually sit on it and pretend you're riding it. It's pretty amazing.
That is fun. And that, yes, Patrick, there is life outside of board gaming, Patrick. And that's what we have. And speaking of that, you guys, I'm involved in our local con, the Southern Board Game Fest. It is a fundraiser for the New Hope Foundation, which provides mentoring services for under-resourced children on the north side of our town. People that, that are struggling and that are trying to make sure that by fourth grade, every single one of these kids can read and also have life skills. And I saw that you guys know what I'm going through in running this con, because you guys just finished Tantrum Con number 3. No,
yeah, Tantrum Con, basically number 2. We did a 1-day con, and that was sort of like our test run. And then we had a real one in 2019, and then the best con of 2020, because it was the only con of 2020.
Well, almost, yeah.
Was Tantrum Con 2020, and we had about 500 attendees and lots of exhibitors and events, and it was a blast. So second one was a lot easier than the first one.
Sure. Melissa, what was your favorite part of Tantrum Con?
I love teaching games, so I sign up to teach games. We do some where it's play with us, and then others where it's just kind of more of your normal teaching. So I try to fill up my time with that and being able to interact with people through playing.
Kevin, you got a good experience to share from Tantrum?
Something unique that makes Tantrum Con different are two main things. One is that we do Turn-a Meals, where we will actually do an event where people can eat a meal and actually play a game. So, for instance, like New York Slice from Bezier Games, they'll sponsor a room and people can sign up to have a pizza party, but also play a game that's sort of themed that way. We had... there was an ice cream event. There was
Winner
Chicken Dinner with 25th Century. So we tried to pick fun games that sort of match a food, and we'll have something special for some of the event goer, some of the people that are coming. And the second thing that makes Tantrum Con just a little bit different is every night we have a table flipping contest.
Ooh.
So, Tantrum House.
I've seen the pictures of it.
You've seen the pictures of this? The slow-mo videos are pretty fun to watch. When Tantrum House, or we started talking about doing Tantrum Con, people are like, you should do a table flipping contest for, they're just like making fun. And all of a sudden, like, it's like, should we just do a table flipping contest?
We're like, oh no, someone's going to get hurt.
So we did it the first con, and people loved it when people random from the audience are coming up and we pick them. And they come and they actually get to flip a table. They actually had to set up a game. And the first year we set up Monopoly, and people we judged how well they set it up. And then they flipped the table last year, or this year, CGE sponsored the table flipping contest, and we put up Galaxy Trucker, which has a ton of pieces, and we flipped that. People were finding Galaxy Trucker pieces the whole weekend on the floor. So
OCD people would go crazy seeing Galaxy Trucker flipping out. Now, Marty claims that he actually flipped the table and it landed back on its feet. Is that a true story?
That is a true story. It was the first, I think it was Marty and Tony flipping together against Derek, and Derek Funkhauser and someone else, and he flipped it an exact 360, and it was amazing. We have it on video.
I gotta check that out. I've heard him tell the story, but I want to see.
It's amazing. So yeah, Marty, the Rolling Dice guys have come down 2 years in a row, so I guess they're regulars now.
BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Kevin and Melissa from Tantrum House. We're going to be talking about their Kickstarter in just a second, but we like to talk about the spicy hot games. And one of those that I haven't always got the box with him is Whistle Mountain. I am absolutely jealous. You guys have already got to play it. Kevin.
Yeah,
Melissa,
actually.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Melissa and I played a 2-player version the other night together, and then I played a 4-player version tonight, and it was a totally different experience. Yeah, you can see some of the pieces there. So you, as a player, are controlling airships, and you're using them sort of as workers, going around the board, taking different actions, like getting resources and getting scaffolding, and getting machines. You sort of see them in the left-hand corner, some of those square and rectangle buildings that you actually have to build on top of the scaffolding, and you're getting points that way. If you've played Whistle Stop, it is it's a totally different game, but there's some similarities in like the upgrade tokens that you can see in the other side of the board, those circle tokens that you're sort of upgrading your abilities, which is really fun. I love it when you can sort of differentiate yourself from your opponents, and you can have these upgrades that definitely power your actions up.
Look at the production on this, Melissa. I mean, this is their photos, and it's just popping off the screen right here. Did both of you get to play it, or was it just Kevin?
Yes, we played a 2-player game, so the board was a little more open than it would be in a 4-player game, but we have a pre-production copy, so it's close to the finish, but not quite. And yeah, the meeples, the tiles, the airships, really nice.
It looks to me like a deeper game than Whistle Stop. Is that right, or is it about the same weight level?
I would say it's about the same weight level, but totally different. It's a Whistle Stop is that route building tile laying game. This is more of a worker placement tile laying game.
Yeah, and I think there are more options for what you can do on your turn.
Sure.
Go get a machine, go get an upgrade, go get resources.
Yeah.
So it's not as linear.
Yeah, you'll see that water level rises as you are building machines above the danger zone. And that's sort of like the end game. You can sort of see the end game sort of creeping up, because as that water level rises, it's pushing people into the whirlpool if they are too low on their barracks. So it's interesting. Oh, sorry, Melissa. There goes your earbuds. Tantrum House.
Thank you. Oh, no. So pre-production copy, and what I'm showing you, actually some of the pictures were stamped that I'm going to show tonight are all prototypes. But you've had what's their rep over there in your area? I can't think of his name.
Matt.
Yeah.
Ryan. Yeah.
You've had Matt on. How close to what the chat crew, what they're seeing? How close is that going to be to what the final production?
So you're seeing the 3D printed airships. They're going to be wooden airships, they're really nice and thick wood. I mean, they feel nice and chunky, which is great to move around. The resources I think are very similar to what you had in Whistle Stop with the wooden resources, but very custom, I would say.
Yeah, they are shaped. I can't remember. I think in Whistle Stop they might just be cubes.
Oh, really? I don't remember.
Been a while. Oh, no, they're tokens. They're cardboard.
Oh, they're tokens. The whistles, you can sort of see it in the bottom of the picture there. They're the bottom. Yeah, they're the copper colored whistles.
Metallic.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Oh, yeah.
The whistles are really, really cool. The meeples are wooden. So, yeah, the interesting thing is you'll notice on the water level, as it rises, it actually has a little pegs. Yes. That they slot into, so they fit nice. It's not like it's not like those are sliding around a lot when you place them in the slots. So that's very helpful.
So who's this game for? Who do you think is going to enjoy this type of game?
I would put it in the mid-weight category. Probably about, what do you think, an hour and a half?
It's definitely an hour and a half game, even 2-player to 4-player. The 2-player was an hour and a half. The 4-player was an hour and 45 minutes. And that was with that was with 3 people who had never played the game before. I taught it in it's a pretty quick teach, maybe 15-minute teach, because all you're doing is placing your workers out, showing them what the workers can do. And then it's really up to them how they want to go about it.
I think people who like a little bit of engine building,
sure.
There's some tile laying aspect with putting the scaffolds and the machines down. Mm-hmm. And then I wouldn't go as far to say that it's a point salad, but there are lots of different ways to get points. So you're not pigeonholed into just one strategy.
You're getting points from building your scaffolds. You're getting points from your machines. You're getting points from even playing where your ships are going, depending on if you can get, like, some of the machines give you points based on where you put your ships on. Okay. And then a lot of the upgrades are giving you points. So yeah, point sounds probably a good term. There's a lot of different ways of getting points. The cards that you see there are different ways.
I was going to ask you, I saw cards in the game. What are they doing for you?
So you are getting basically on your turn, you can play a card for free if you have one.
Okay.
And that could give you resources. It could give you a free scaffolding. It could give you maybe a free small machine. Sometimes it gives you a free way of basically taking an action without using your ship, which is great because it gives you a little bit more versatility.
Right. They've the cards vary greatly in what they do. I know when I was playing, I was like hoping to get free stuff, and I kept getting the actions where I still have to pay for it.
Right.
I don't have to take the action, but I was like, oh, I just really wanted some free stuff. Kevin has 18 cards.
Yeah,
and
I had
three.
an upgrade that let me get a free card every time I gained a machine. So I was trying to gain machines. I was getting free cards basically. So I was like, why not?
Is there any hidden information in the game, or is everybody sees what everybody's doing?
Yeah, except for the cards, because that's hidden. The cards are hidden information until you play them. Everything else is wide open. So, yeah.
Question separate from the game. Thomas wants to know, what are your favorite game mechanisms? What do you look for in a game? Melissa?
I love worker placement, tile placement,
Melissa's favorite
deck building.
game. Yeah.
My favorite game is Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Oh, great.
I do like when players have their own goals, personal goals, and their group goals. I like games that have some variability in setup. So like each time you take out the game, you're looking at it and going, all right, how do I puzzle it out this time to win? So I do like puzzly type games, solving them. I'm fine with multiplayer. Solitaire, don't mess with my stuff.
Right. Don't mess with your stuff. I love Castles. It's been in my top 20 since I very first played it, and I've got it all tricked out. So I love that. What about you, Kevin?
One of my favorite mechanisms is dice worker placement, like you would see in Kingsburg.
Okay.
Like you would see in it was like Coimbra, Teotihuacan, games like that. Love that mechanism. That's one of my favorites. I like games like multi-use cards, like in Lewis and Clark or things like that. I love it when you can use a card for different things. I
have a used copy of Lewis and Clark. I've played it on BGA many times, but I have the real copy just sitting there, and I want to play because I love when a game does multi-use cards correctly. Now I don't know if that one does because I haven't played the real version. So
does it great. They're actually, I believe, Asmodee is doing a new reprint for Lewis and Clark. Okay. So I don't know exactly when that will be out. So, but I just heard about that.
I actually have the European edition, the little skinny long box, not the one that most people have, the square box. So I'd like to see what the new edition is. Yeah. So Jay says tile laying for the win. There you go, Melissa. And Steve, the name father, who's going to be joining us later to play the game, he says laying tile is one of his top mechanisms. All right. So that's Bezier Games, and that is Whistle Mountain from Scott Caputo. You get a thumbs up, right?
Yes.
2 thumbs up. Yep. That's probably going to come out sometime late summer, early fall, I think. So if people are asking.
BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Kevin and Melissa from Tantrum House. We're going to be talking about the Kickstarter in just a second. But before that, Ted Alsbach, who designed Castles of Mad King Ludwig that we had talked about, Melissa, has a new game coming out. Who's going to talk to us about Maglev Metro, which reminds me of Disney World Monorail, the game.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought when I saw the components and even the name Maglev Metro. You actually are controlling your own sort of train car, and you're moving that around the board, laying tiles.
It's the Wedway People Mover board game. That's what this is.
Tell us about it. You want to go for it, Melissa?
So it is I would say more of an action selection game. You're using those little meeples that you see to power your actions. So depending on how many you have in the slots, your actions get more powerful.
Oh, I love that mechanic.
And certain spots, you need certain colors of commuters, they're called. So you're picking up these passengers and you're trying to deliver them to the appropriately colored stations. So a copper colored one needs to go to the copper station, things like that. And once you deliver them, then you can put them on your board to make your actions more powerful or unlock extra actions or extra scoring. So there's a lot of decisions to make about where you put your people. What choices are you building your action engine? Or are you trying to go for end game points with the turn mechanism in the game, which I thought was really interesting.
Well, there's definitely
tiles, Melissa, and
tile laying. The cool thing about this tile laying game is that the tiles that you're placing on the board are transparent.
Yes. So
and everyone has their own color. So as you can see, it's almost like an underground subway where you are actually laying these transparent tiles on top of each other.
Those yellow and orange lines, those are different players' tiles in their routes. So they can go stack on top of
each other, and you can't really, like Melissa was saying earlier, multiplayer solitaire, there's a little bit of that. You can maybe mess up a little bit, but you can't mess up someone's train lines because every tile color is so unique that when you play it, there's no way for another player to actually match perfectly the shape because a rounded corner will just be a little bit tighter. The way Bezier built the game, the rounded corners are going to be a little bit tighter as they go through different tiles.
Yeah, so you could still see all the lines,
which is really cool.
I had no idea. I actually grabbed this picture here because of the little meeples inside the car.
We'll talk about that.
That's one of my favorite things. I didn't realize that that's actually transparent tiles. That is ingenious.
Yeah, and the cool thing is those hubs where the train cars are, they're 3-dimensional, so that when you stack the transparent tiles on top of each other, they don't move around. So it's sort of like you place a tile and it sort of like locks those tiles into place. So.
Yeah, Steve anticipated it. He said, "Does that overlay mechanism stay in place?" And you're saying, "Yeah, there's no real problem with that."
No problem at all. And they built those 3D hubs to actually make it work that way. So it works out great and didn't have any problems. When they first were play testing the game, the hub tiles were the same level as the other tiles, and they said the transparent tiles are just moving all over the place. But once they build in those sort of the hubs. It's a lot better.
Yeah, it's a double-sided recessed boards. So those colored tiles, the hubs, the stations are sitting in the board. One side is New York, and I believe the other side is Berlin.
I think it's Berlin. Yep, it's in Germany. It's definitely a German side on the other side.
Somewhere. Marksburg, something. What is the playtime on this one? Is this this looks a little bit more meatier than what I'm used to from your Bezier games, you know?
Yeah, I would say it's about the same weight as Whistle Mountain, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they're kind of working slightly different aspects of your brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
is this a 1 hour game or is it a little bit longer than that?
I'd say it's a little bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah, an hour and a half. So depending on player count, I think definitely. So those trains are really cool. Yeah, the people look like Pez figures, Steven. Yeah. So those trains are actually the bottom. You know, they're like they look metallic. They're actually going to be metal. Like they're going to have metal bottoms on the trains with the plastic on on top of the metal. So not magnetic, but definitely metal. We were talking to Bezier about that. So which is really cool. So that it'll have a real nice feel to them and a nice look.
If I remember right, this was going to be an Essen release for them, right? And then everything's gotten changed because of what's going on. I kind of looked at this one and I was like, I don't know. You two are absolutely selling me on this. I'm telling you, I am absolutely intrigued by this game. This is blowing my mind, as Jason.
The one nice thing that Melissa mentioned earlier, the engine building aspect of this game sold it for me. I like the tile laying and the transparent tiles. It's really cool. But I love engine building games too. And as you gain those meeples, you get to decide where you want to build your engine. You have so many different actions that you can choose from, but you only get to choose 2 per turn.
Two actions.
So you're like, am I going to pick up my commuters? Am I going to drop them off? And am I going to move my commuters along my train line? That's the point of the game. One of the points of the game is to get the colored commuters to their right color. So that's sort of like, I'm going to pick up the pink commuters and I'm going to take them to the pink hub. So
Kevin says he likes engine building. Hey, Steve and Melissa, put a pin in that. Let's talk about that later. We might be doing something with that later. So just remember that.
Sounds good.
No, absolutely. You are selling to me. So designed by Ted Elspach. Castles of Mad King Ludwig, all the other games that he's done, Bezier games coming out this fall.
Yep.
We think, right?
Probably October.
A little bit of pick up and deliver, a little bit of engine building, a little bit of tile laying, and a little bit of player interaction. But maybe one of those innovative games that we haven't seen in a while.
The player interaction really comes in from picking up the workers that someone else might want to pick up. That's where not on the tile laying, it's really on the commuters themselves. I picked up some commuters that someone else wanted when we were playing the prototype, and Yeah, they were a little not upset, but they were like, "Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to do."
We're gonna have to tell Matt about these comments here from the chat crew, man. It became an insta buy for my wife, says Thomas, when you said metal trains and route building. Wow, it's taking me back. All right.
Yeah.
BJ for Game Gumbo, I've got my guests here, Kevin and Melissa Delp from Tantrum House. We've got one more game to talk about tonight.
Let's do it.
This is a game I just got a little slip from Todd Rowland, AEG. And when I saw this game, I said, wow, Dead Reckoning. We got John, card crafting, and pirates. That's a pretty good combination. So tell me.
Yeah, I like Mystic Vale. I like Edge of Darkness. I need to play Dead Reckoning a little bit more. I've played it once. So far.
We definitely want to play it a second time.
This one might be my favorite.
Of the three we're talking to? Okay.
Yes. So
I'm surprised because there's definitely player interaction in this one. This is a pirate themed game. As you can see, that pirate ship there with those cubes sort of tumbling out, almost like a dice tower-esque feel to it. Every player has their own color cubes. Those are battle cubes that are being thrown into the pirate ship, and that is the sort of where they land really depends on how well you're going to do in that battle. So the fires, if your cube lands on a fire, you're basically destroying parts of other people's ships, or at least getting them on fire, damage on them. And if a player's pirate ship gets 5 damage, that pirate ship sinks. So yeah, there's definitely player interaction on this one.
Melissa,
I need to try it again, but I enjoyed myself.
You didn't like that. That's okay. Expanding the horizons. Maybe.
That's right.
What about this game does it for you, Melissa? Even though it's got a little bit more player interaction than you normally would like, what is it about the game that does it for you?
I do like the card crafting a lot. You have basically 10 cards in your deck. They're your crew members, and they have a leveling ability throughout the game that you can upgrade them. Kind of like if you played Kingsburg, you have that building on the far right. That's the one you're trying to get to, so you have to go through all the other ones. Well, your characters have a certain leveling tree, and so you kind of look and go, oh, I really want my captain to get to level 4. So you go through and level them up. And then, of course, with the card crafting, you're adding advancements also into those cards to make them more powerful. So I like the control and the variability in the game with that.
There's exploration. As you can see, all those tiles on the board most of them are face down at the beginning of the game. And as your ship moves around the board, you're exploring different islands. And on those islands, there's a little bit of majority control. You'll see those cubes that you're actually placing out on the islands. And that majority control is a lot of that is end game points. And you can barely see it, but there's these little white buildings on those islands. And those are garrisons. And there's ways to help your production on those islands to get. Most of them give you like gold or barrels, and barrels are one of the main ways of purchasing. There's a sort of your resource for purchasing the transparent cars to not level up your characters, but sort of
to add the advancements.
To add the advancements to your player, to your crew. So yeah, everyone starts with the same base crew.
Okay.
And it's really up to you how you want to advance or upgrade, like Melissa was saying.
Yeah, so. In the rule book, they even have, do you want to go the pirate route or the merchant route or this route? Here's some advice of which crew members you would want to upgrade and how to go about playing that sort of role. You
can upgrade your ship too, because your ship can only hold so much, so many goods, and you can get cannons, you can get sails, so you can move around the board faster, which is really helpful if you're looking for certain cards or you want to battle someone.
This really sounds thematic. I mean, like he's really bringing in the piracy in there.
The first thing I said when we were playing this game, like, this game is very thematic with the crew that you're upgrading, with the exploration. All of that is a very thematic. I felt like a pirate game. So.
I've enjoyed my games of Mystic Vale. I've enjoyed them, but the theme feels a little thin. Not thin at all. Everything about this seems like the card crafting becomes just a mechanic to deliver the story that you're going to create during the game, right?
If you remember back years ago, I think John came to AEG with a game that used this card crafting system, and they said, this is an amazing game. Let's make it so people understand the card crafting system first, which actually playing Dead Reckoning, if I didn't know Mystic Vale, I would do fine with it. But I think knowing Mystic Vale, how that works, and how you gain advancements and all that kind of stuff, knowing that will help you get into Dead Reckoning a lot faster.
Some of the cards have symbols that will compound on each other. So for every wheel symbol on this card, you get more cargo or more sales, things like that. So kind of like the soldiers in Mystic Vale that you're trying to layer to get more points and things like that.
The version that you've seen, I mean, what I've seen on the internet, tons of great, awesome looking art, but how close is it to a final thing that you played? Was it still more of a PPC or was it down the road toward the final game?
Yeah, I would say ours is really close. Our ships are plastic. The ship that you're rolling the cubes in was really well made. I can't think of. I mean, of course, the plastic cards that that you're used to in Mystic Vale. I mean, the art was all really amazing.
Yeah, so. Ian O'Toole did the art.
That's a winner right there. Thomas wants to know, how do the asymmetrical player roles work in Dead Reckoning?
So there's not really asymmetrical player roles. I mean, you have captain and crew. Everyone starts with a captain. They start with crew. They start with the bosun. They start with basically
like Dominion. You have the same starter deck.
Yeah.
It's how you choose to upgrade and advance that sort of gives you a possible role, but it's not like you're saying, I am the pirate or I am the merchant, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's really up to you. Do you want to really go up like you see there, you can upgrade your ship to carry more goods. You're going to be able to do more stuff with merchant stuff, or do you want to, there's cannons on there. Do you want to start fighting people? So it's really up to you how you're upgrading your character.
Yeah. So there's the bosun all the way to the left. The bosun is just basically empty. And then you're going to add cards to create the character that you want. So they're not really asymmetrical from that standpoint.
Yeah, the asymmetrical comes in when you start crafting your cards. So,
and that is Dead Reckoning from John D. Clare. We know him from a million games, Space Base, Mystic Vale, all the other games. Coming out from AEG. I don't remember what it said.
So Kickstarter is launching in July.
Okay, all right. So Kickstarter launching in July. So we'll see when it's ready after that.
Yeah.
All right, BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Kevin and Melissa Delp, and we got to talk about the Tantrum House Season 7 Kickstarter. Season 7. Wow.
I know.
Does it hit you every once in a while?
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't join until 2015. It started in 2014. And when I joined, it was just a few of us, and we just had a few thousand subscribers at that point.
Probably a few hundred.
Sorry, a few hundred subscribers at that point. And we are about almost 22,000 subscribers now on YouTube. That's probably one of our biggest channels, and of course Facebook and Twitter and all that, and
the podcast.
And then we have the weekly podcast, and we've been doing that for, I think this is our 3rd year now, and love doing that. It's a great time just to talk board gaming and what's been happening. This week was
kind of a special episode for you guys. Maybe the first time, if I understood, that y'all have been in the same room. Just like all of us, I'm playing with my board game group, the Gumbo guys. I'm playing with them online. I'm playing with the Gateway group on Friday nights with Jay and with the rest of them, Verl and all them online. I miss my face-to-face people,
Yeah. So South Carolina, probably the beginning of May, started reopening a lot of stuff and saying, it's okay to go out and just be wise about it. And that's what sort of we've been doing. We're very careful about who we are around outside of Tantrum House. So we feel like if we keep the circle small, then we're still being wise about it. But yeah, we were able to do the podcast around the table, and it was good.
Yeah, so. And we had our 12-hour gaming marathon, which was a first for us.
Yeah,
that's a long time to game.
We've never done a 12-hour in a row before,
and you broadcast it all.
Right. 12-hour live, 12 hours from noon to midnight. And we're like, one of our stretch goals on our Kickstarter campaign is 24 hours straight.
Okay, now we're getting ridiculous here.
Right?
24 hours straight.
So
Would that
right
to take
would that be broadcast live 24 hours straight?
24 hours live.
That's a lot of rules for me to mess up. Wow.
So we were talking about, so it's one of our stretch goals. If we hit 24,000, we thought, why don't we do 24 hours live?
That's cool. Yeah.
You know, it was sort of connected. Will thought about that, you know, being the creative guy that he is. And we said, why not? Let's try 12 hours first to see if we can do it. It went really well. We didn't even have all the equipment we ordered just because, you know, with where the situation that we're in, a lot of the businesses are just taking a long time to get equipment mailed out, or even they're out of stock or things like that. So there is specific like battery pack that you can plug in that goes that, you know, never runs out because it's plugged in. So we didn't get the second piece in. So we actually did the whole 12 hours with us changing battery packs in the cameras almost every hour behind the scenes. No one actually saw it. So
what was your favorite moment of the gaming? What did y'all call it? The marathon?
Game-a-thon. Yeah, 12-hour game-a-thon. I would say it was the end of the night. It was getting close to midnight, and we said we had a schedule, so we knew what games we were playing. But we said let's end the night with Cthulhu. Don't mess with Cthulhu, which is a social deduction game, and we thought that'd be a good one to end. And boy, that was the best game to end on, because we were, you know, all getting tired, a little loopy. Yep, and trying to accuse people and trying.
There wasn't much trust in the room at that point.
There were some pretty epic things going on, and Will did play the game, or did teach the game wrong, because he said it was only 3 rounds, and there's actually 4 rounds in a game of Don't Mess with Cthulhu. And Melissa and I are like, I think it's 4 rounds, and Will's like, no, 3 rounds. So the investigators had no chance of winning, but it was fun. It was a really, really good end to the night. Something else that was kind of fun was the interviews. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Melissa?
Yeah, for some of the games we had either the designer, publisher, someone with the company on. They were kind of on a TV in the background, and they were able to interact with us. They were able to talk about their game. We had Matt Riddle on while we played Stellar, so he was able to tell about the kind of the history of the game and how it started as a lighthouse theme and then went to the telescope theme.
Yeah, we had Ross from the Op, and he helped us play Q's and Q's, which is a pretty popular game from the Op right now. Have you heard about that one?
I saw a picture that you guys had. Is that the one with all the colors everywhere?
Yes.
I don't know anything about it.
So think code names. No. Think, what's that? Yeah, maybe like a little code names meets Pantone, which is an old IDW game where you're trying to get people to put their token on the right color. So you're basically giving them a clue. Like if I said Yoshi, you might put the token on a green color.
Sure.
But there's like 20
Yeah, there's like 20 green colors. So what color or what shade of green is Yoshi? It's up to you, the guessers, to guess the right one. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's fun. So everyone has a little card, and they have colors they get to pick from and then give the guesses. So
you said 24 hours of gaming. If you get to 24, Steve says you're already at 22,000. Y'all might have to come to fulfill that commitment. Wow.
Yeah. Hopefully we will. We've got a couple weeks left. Our campaign goes until June 13th. And we're actually doing a live show the last hour of the campaign on that Saturday morning from 11 to 12. So we're gonna count it down live. Yeah, but we're not sure if that was the smartest decision, because usually a lot of times like reward levels can be adjusted at the volatile. Yeah, a little volatile at the end. So we're like, yeah. Anyway,
you got to do like the old Jerry Lewis telethon. Once the numbers flip, that's it. You're counting that as the actual numbers. Well, I guess with the internet, people can check it though. Is there anything secret that's behind the scenes on this Kickstarter? Any other stretch goals you haven't revealed yet?
Yes. So we do have some stretch goals that haven't been revealed. I actually can bring it up here. Can you still see me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear. I was bringing the campaign up, but it looks like it's okay. Well, I'll just look it up on my phone. We just recently revealed some stretch goals. That it's going to be pretty difficult to reach. One of them's at 40,000. We talked to Lucky Duck to have us create our own Chronicles of Crime scenario.
Because we have
talk
cards.
about that. You guys did the Time Stories thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Melissa and I, we did Time Stories, the Halo project, which was recently released from Space Cowboys.
And y'all may be doing your own Chronicles of Crime project. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll reach that level, but it's there. So.
And that's the Kickstarter for Tantrum House Season 7. It's the way to help support Tantrum House, and every year we've seen as you guys go through the Kickstarters, you seem to be investing in more equipment, more studios, better. I mean, just bigger and better each year, right?
Yes, yes. All right, so I have it up here. Our stretch goals that aren't revealed yet. Oh, let's see here. Kevin does. I don't know if I do my top 100 games of all time.
Wow. Okay.
Never done that. I've done my top 10, but I've never done a top 100. Of course, I don't think I'd do all 100 in one video. I'd probably split that up over a few videos. And then the other big one is Melissa and I would love to go to UK Games Expo. So
that would be cool.
That's a little higher stretch goal. It's probably not going to make it, but we have some that you can't see. I just turned my phone off. See them all there? secret stretch goals.
Super secret stretch goals. Well, good. And that is the Kickstarter for Tantrum House Season 7. Namefather's got a link to that. I'm going to be bringing him in because Kevin and Melissa, this is a board game show.
Oh yeah. So was it time for?
On a board game show, you know what that is, right?
What? Is it time for a board game in?
Gotta play a board game. Hey, chat crew, we've got something a little crazy tonight. So me and Steve and Alex were talking off camera about this crazy game that he's mentioned on the show, Heartthrob, the board game. For copyright purposes, we're not doing Heartthrob, the board game tonight, of course. We're doing board game, the Heartthrob.
Nice,
right? Because that's the game that we're gonna be doing. So
I tried to get you to just change the name to something French or Cajun, and
yeah, there you go. Come on, BJ.
I got to think about it, but I got to think about it. We'll think about it. We'll come up with something. So the way this game is going to work, the 4 of us are going to play with the chat crew. I'm gonna throw out a picture with 3 games on it, and then you're going to secretly write down the game that you want to play. We're going to start out with some kind of tapas game. Steve, tell them what a tapas game is.
Yeah, not the meal that you sit down to eat one big game for 2.5 hours, but the kind of games you snack on. People call them gateways or fillers, but it always seems like that's running them down. But you can make a meal full of tapas games. Lots of little small good games.
Nice little meal full of tapas games. So we're going to throw that game out there, and then one of the we'll say the one that each one of us, we're going to guess, we're going to name ours secretly, and we'll also try to figure out what everybody else would play. We're going to write those down, and the chat crew is also going to do it. So let me throw the first game out. Good. You guys understand the rules of the game?
Yes.
We're going to do it 3 rounds. We're going to score the points. Woo. Oh, hello. Did we lose y'all?
Oh, we're still there. Let me see if my
got a big orange.
Can you guys hear us?
Orange is the new Tantrum.
Okay,
did you know that, Steve? Orange is the new Tantrum.
Are we back?
There we go. All right. Woo. All right. So here's the tapas games. We've got Silver Amulet. We've got Cartographers. And we've got Scarabia. All right.
Okay.
So think in terms of that. I need a fresh piece of paper here. Steve, hold on there. Don't look at my cheat sheet, Steve. So
stop it. Keep your eyes on your own paper.
Yeah, don't look, Professor, Dr. Steve. I'm sure you had to say that. I think I know the one I'm going to say. Yeah, and Steve. Steve, what would Steve want?
I'm stuck on YouTube, BJ. I thought this was going to be the easier part.
Yeah, I think.
What do I want to play?
What do you want to play?
You guys have an advantage. Y'all should know what each other would play.
Well, I will tell you, 2 of those games are pretty popular on Melissa's list.
Figured that. I'm going to go with the one, basically what she said earlier, and see if that works. All right. Okay. And my last one is Kevin. Kevin, I have no idea because none of these 3 have anything to do with what we talked about before. So I'm just going to go. I'm going to go with my gut. Okay. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Ready? Okay, good.
Yep.
All right. Why don't you take it away, Steve? What you got?
My choice for those 3 would be Scarabia.
Oh, I didn't get that one.
No. That's what I put.
Well, right there. There we go.
No points.
I put Silver.
All right.
Okay. What did you think for me, BJ?
I put silver. Yes.
Okay.
Melissa, yeah, exactly. Melissa, you got a point there, Melissa?
Melissa gets one.
Steve, are you keeping track of the points here on the
I'll
on
keep
our
track of
Google
points. Yep.
sheet? On the Google sheet or somewhere else?
I'll just keep them on the page since I got it open.
All right, Melissa, you're up. What did you pick?
I picked cartographers. But I love both cartographers and silver. And Scorelia is pretty cool too. So
Yeah, Cartographers is our #1 roll and write game.
I thought, she loves tiling and she loves puzzles, Steve. So I was like, oh, that's it. She said puzzly. So
I went the
it's
same
probably
way.
very
I
puzzly.
went
But
the same way.
All right, you did the same thing. All right. So Kevin,
Kevin gets a point on that one, I think, for guessing cartographers.
I got a point on that one. Yeah.
All
That should
right.
be a half point. That should be like the half point married point. That's what no, we'll give you a point. All right, Kevin, what you got?
I put cartographers.
that's what I picked for you.
Yes. I got a point. Nice.
All
nice.
right. We are all on the board with that one. I had cartographers for you too.
I felt it
Awesome.
was the meatiest one out of the three, and Kevin, you might have been, that might be why you would have jumped on it.
Something that you
Or was
wanted,
it the colored pencils that you
I love the color pencils.
upgraded in the game? Yeah.
That's right.
So let's see how
Kevin
the
will
check.
spend all game drawing.
I'll just spend. I don't care what's happening in the game. I'm just like, I'm still working on my first one.
Yeah, you like drawing the little monsters.
Oh
and
yeah.
all-
Oh yeah.
All right, so chat crew, Jay is in, Thomas is in, Kelly's in. So make sure you're keeping track of how you're doing, and we're going to see who's got the winner. All
So
right.
I get 3 points since you all correctly guessed mine.
Yeah.
No,
no. You got to earn by the guessing.
You do not. All right, so that's the first round. Steve,
Wait, we haven't done yours, BJ.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't done mine yet? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So
What's
I
yours?
did silver amulets.
That's what I
Anybody?
put.
I
You have that, Melissa?
switched BJ and Steven. I put
Okay.
Scarabia.
I
was
got all
close.
three.
Good job,
I
Melissa.
actually like cartographers the least out of those three. I love the silver series. I have all the silver series. I love them. I love playing them.
Have you played Coin yet?
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely love it. In fact,
Yeah.
it's my favorite.
I think Coin's my favorite too.
It's this is the most combo-licious of the set so far, where they really interact with each other, don't you think? Oh yeah.
Yes.
We did a 2 versus 2 variant that Bezier is working on.
I heard y'all talk about that on a podcast. I don't know anything about this 2x2 thing.
You should try it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
worked
It's
pretty
fun.
well.
It's fun. And your listeners, your fans can go check. We have a silver promo on our Kickstarter page. So
I saw that.
And cartographers.
and the cartographers. Yeah.
There's a lot of pictures of Melissa and Kevin on those cards in the Kickstarter.
You know, I am the chief communicator for Tantrum House. So, there's some perks that come involved with that. People just I just say, can you make a promo card? And we're like, here it is. I'm like, I didn't ask for it to be a Kevin promo card, but, I'm fine with it.
They
Should
did
take
put your head on a stake.
Yeah,
for one of them.
Mythic Games put my head on a stake for their new Hell the Last Saga game.
Oh.
And I think it's actually fun because now I can be like, you want Kevin's head on a stake? Here you go.
All right, chat crew. Thomas is in with his 2. Who else got some points? Let us know. So
All right,
first
wait a
round-
second. I got to notice here. There's 3 of us guessing, and they get to guess 4 people.
That's
So
okay.
you
Well,
can't guess your own. So the most we can get is 3 points in a round, but the chat can get all 4.
Hey,
that's all right. We'll give it to him.
We got-
Okay, all right.
we
all
got
right.
it. We got to give him.
But Melissa's still in the lead anyway with 3.
So Melissa's got 3. I only have 1. So-
I've got 2, and Kevin and BJ each have 1, I think.
All right.
Yeah, 1 point.
Let's do better in the second round. So
Coming back.
we started out with a little tapas, right? Now it's time. We're doing this big game day, and at a board game gumbo game day, it's all about food. So we're gonna do the main course, the gumbo, right? So
Let's do it.
what do we got here? Let's take a look.
Oh.
We've got some engine building games. Remember, Melissa, when I told you to put a little pin in that? So we got In the Hall of the Mountain King. We've got a very little known game that really should have won awards, and I don't know why people forgot about it. Wingspan and
Definitely overlooked.
and Space Base. All right. So put your thinking caps on, chat crew. What are our choices for that? Now I regret putting too many engine builders in the second one because it'd have been easy with Kevin. So let's see. I'm gonna put Steve, I know one of them for you. So I'm gonna eliminate one of them, but I gotta figure out the other 2.
Yeah.
I'm
kind of in the same boat with you, I think.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna do the mistake. You know how the professors, Steve is a professor of what is it, linguistics, right, or something?
Psychology.
Yeah, I'm joking, but
Same thing. The answer is always C.
it's always safe. But you know, you're not supposed to change it though, and I just did.
Your gut just changed.
No, I shouldn't have done that. So, Melissa, I'm gonna guess one, and
Don't look at the chat, everyone. Don't look at the chat.
I'm not. In fact, I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna remember that. We'll go to host chat next time, and I'll turn it back on.
Okay.
Oh. Johnny Pack's there? I didn't see Johnny Pack. I must have missed
Johnny Pack chimed in earlier that I think he had play tested the Maglev Metro game.
Oh, Johnny Pack? Yeah, he's cool.
Johnny's our good buddy. He's almost always here on the show, and he's always on the show. So we love Johnny Pack on the show. Big fans of him. Okay, let's see what we got here. Everybody ready?
I think so.
You went first last time. Kevin, your turn. What you got?
My answer is Space Base.
Oh, man, I'm
But I put
terrible.
Oh,
I'm doing terrible. All right, I said Hall of the Mountain King. So
I said Hall of the Mountain King for Kevin, but I did say Space Base for Melissa.
Melissa, what'd you get?
I went with the John D. Clare, I think.
I put Space Base.
Oh, I put Wingspan.
Put Wingspan too. Oh, man.
It was a close one.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the non-engine builder. I should have picked one of those engine builders. I talked myself out of it. All right, Steve, what about you?
I said in the Hall of the Mountain King.
Oh, I had that.
I got it right.
Oh, no.
I put Space Base.
I had Space Base, and then I said, you know what? Steve's going to go with the musical choice.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm right. Yeah, I know the name Father. Went with the musical choice. Hall of the Mountain King. And I picked, any guesses? What did I pick? Anybody?
Space Base.
I said Space Base.
I said Hall of the Mountain King.
Space Base was my first choice, and I changed it to Wingspan. Wingspan, yes.
Zero.
Because it's my wife's favorite game right now, and I love playing with her. You know? So
Okay.
I picked
All
it.
right. You are excused.
I like Space Base better. Dude. Space Base, the legacy version. If you haven't played the legacy version of
Yeah,
Space
with
Base,
Shy
Shy
Pluto.
Pluto?
Yeah.
by the time you finish that game, it rocks. It's
Yep.
awesome. Oh, yeah.
I love the way to get
The quick start.
the quick start, lightning start, or whatever they call it. That's cool.
I love it. You rockets right into there. So yeah. No,
I
I
lost
love
track of who had points in that round.
Wingspan. Did I get
I
any
think I
points?
only had one.
Did I get it? Oh, I got one. Yeah, I did. I got one.
BJ got
You-
one.
In
Kevin, no for this
Louisiana, we
round.
say you went
Melissa got one,
Konoyo,
you said?
Kevin. You went Konoyo, 0.
Oh, no, you
I would have had 2 if you guys hadn't changed your mind.
We did. We messed you up. All right, how we go? We got some people that are. We got some love for Space Base. Yeah, that was a very popular one. Very.
Kelly said Space for everyone.
Yeah.
She did. Space Base for everyone.
Wingspan is a close second. Space Base is just. Have you guys played the at-home edition? It's really fun for Space Base.
No, I don't know this one. No.
Yeah, check it out on Space or on AEG's website. You actually can play. They have a little printout, and you can actually. Everyone that plays is player 2, and whoever's the host rolls player 1 and player 3, and it's really enjoyable.
Yeah, I think it works.
I know y'all have played the Euro expansion for Wingspan, and I really like the cards that come out in the other goals. I forget what they call them.
The end of round goals.
End of round goals, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say she really did a good job with that expansion. I can't wait to see what's coming next. So
Oceania, I think's next, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Antarctica is gonna be a tough one. That's what I'm thinking.
One bird.
All right, let's go to round 3. So it's the final round.
All right.
We started out with a little tapas. We ate our main gumbo, and now it's time for a little party time, right? You got to finish the night with some kind of party game, right?
Okay.
When it's 12 hours of gaming and your brain is a little fried, what are you going to play? I did not know this.
Oh, this is a tough one, though.
I did not know this.
Man.
But I put medium, don't mess with Cthulhu, and Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. Now, I'm really trying to mess with Steve by putting those 3 choices. So, Steve, you got your work cut out for you.
Oh, man.
All right. Okay. Hey, I got to give it to Alex. This is a better game than I thought. Props to him.
Yeah.
This is more fun than I thought. This is going to be good. All right.
This is enjoyable.
We weren't sure about this one.
All right. Give me 3 points here, folks. 3 points coming this way.
I'm turning off the public chat because I don't want to see what people are doing. I
Thank
feel
you.
like it's The Price is Right where people are yelling at you like 400, 400. No, I need to think.
$1. $1 and I win the whole thing.
Steve, I'm going to go with. I'm just going to go.
Melissa and I were watching Prices Right the other day, and I won 2 cars when I was watching from home.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
Did you cash it in?
I guessed right. The people weren't doing well, but I was on.
All right, I am locked in. What about you? What y'all?
I'm sticking with what I got.
Okay, good. Here we go.
Melissa done?
Yep.
All right.
Still thinking?
We're done.
Okay, good.
We're done.
All right, so here we go. So, Melissa, you're up first this time, right?
All right. I was waffling between 2 of them, but I ended up going with medium.
Yeah.
Our friends from Storm Chaser Games and Greater Than Games love playing. By the way, if you haven't played it on Twitter every day, they play medium. Hey, chat crew.
Melissa plays every day. Yes.
Oh, do you? Oh,
Okay.
On the
Twitter feed. Yeah.
I don't always play to win, as Steve will tell you. A lot of my guesses are not to win; they're just to make me laugh.
Don't always,
Right?
Every
once in a while, I try to win. I was particularly proud of the one where it was detective and beer. Do you remember that one, Melissa?
Yeah, I didn't play on that one, but I did see that one.
Mine was.
Usually I miss out on it. Yeah.
Kevin, any guess what mine was?
You can guess all you like, Kevin. We'll be here forever.
What's the real answer, BJ?
Peekaboo. Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
The real answer was case.
No, I know. I was saying, I was saying what was
Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like the one that was Doctor and Salt, and the answer was wound.
Dr. Pepper.
yeah.
Dr. Pepper and Dr. Salt.
That'd be a good one too.
Oh.
All right, so Melissa says medium. I got a point because I
did not.
I got a point.
You did, Kevin? Okay, good.
Got a point.
All right, Steve, you're up.
It would be medium.
Oh, yes.
I did not do it.
2 for 2.
DJ's making a comeback.
Oh, my light just went out. Oh, that's strange. Okay.
Because you're doing well.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin, yours?
Mine is Don't Mess with Cthulhu.
There we go.
3 for 3.
3 for 3 for everybody.
Of course, that was a little hint that you gave during the show.
Yeah.
How much?
I was leaning towards medium. I was like, no, I'd rather just at the end of the night. I don't want to think because medium you have to actually think.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the night, I'm like, I just want to play some party game.
Social deduction
It's not Melissa's
stresses
forte.
me out. Don't
I
Mess
hear
with Cthulhu is the only social deduction game besides Werewords that I like. Those two I'll play.
Love Werewords. All right, so any guesses for what mine is? Anybody?
Deception.
I put medium.
I said medium too.
It was Don't Mess with Cthulhu, and here's why, because I'm a Cylon, as usual, Steve. So Deception, my number 1 favorite party game of all time. I love Deception. Oh, yeah. Medium was my number 1 party game of last year, but I've got a secret. I've never played Don't Mess with Cthulhu, and I always wanted to play it. So this was my chance to play it.
That's hilarious.
Ever the Cylon, Steve. Ever the Cylon. So,
Completely.
all right. So give us the point totals. What do we have there?
Well, I think it comes down. If I'm counting correctly, what did everybody get in that last round? BJ got 3. Hey, you got a visitor.
I do have a visitor here.
Hey! I got 2 total points in the whole game.
2 total points in the whole game. I had 4 points in the whole game. I would say it's a tie because Melissa and BJ both have 5, but the special super secret hidden rule in every one of these games that we play is if there's a tie, BJ loses.
I always lose. All right. So Melissa is the big winner. Congratulations. We haven't thought of the name of the game yet. We're going to work on that, but we haven't got that. Steve, I'm going to send you back down so I can get that
That's good.
out there. All right.
Great show.
Evelyn,
Yes, Evelyn. Welcome aboard here.
Yeah.
You'll have to wait to watch a movie in just a second.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get back to my notes here. I am a little
watch a
distracted.
movie on your computer.
I bet you
Yeah. What movie are we watching?
He's taking over the show. This is great. So, Kevin and Melissa. Tell us a little about Kickstarter before we go.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for those who have already supported us, just sharing things out and even supporting us financially on our Kickstarter campaign. Check it out if you haven't. I think the link is in the chat there, or you can just go to Kickstarter and look up Tantrum House Season 7. And we have lots of promos. We have some board game bundles left. Those I went pretty fast. Some other like swag. We have T-shirts. We have board game bags that people can use. We have Game Topper mats, which are pretty sweet. Game Topper mats. If you don't know Game Toppers, they really help elevate your gaming experience with their Game Topper system. But we have some game mats that Berkey is donating to our campaign that actually are Tantrum House branded. The stitched edge, the neoprene mats. I mean, they're amazing. So definitely love you to check out our Kickstarter campaign.
Game Stopper is one of the sponsors of the Southern Board Game Fest. Make your game nights a showstopper when you play on a Game Topper.
I love it.
That's
I
our
might have to steal that.
How can they reach you if they want to get exactly? How can they reach you if they want to get in touch with you?
If you want to email me, Kevin@tantrumhouse.com.
Melissa@tantrumhouse.com.
Pretty simple. Or you can follow us on Twitter @tantrum_house or Tantrum House on Facebook, or follow us on YouTube, Tantrum House. So,
all right, board gamers, that's it for another episode of Gumbo Live. I want to thank my guests, Kevin and Melissa, for being such great sports and playing this new game with us. And good luck on Season 7. Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/BoardGameGumbo. It helps us get the word out about all of our upcoming shows and guests, including Julie Ahern from Greenbrier Games is going to be here next week talking about Barbarian Battlegrounds, Tales of Barbaria.
Barbarians.
I'm BJ from Board Game Gumbo. And until next time, laissez le bon temps rouler.
Bye. Are they in hibernation?